International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk 1986.
There are 21 chapters. Chapter 14 is the most important. Chapter 16 Operational Requirement. Chapter 17 Summary of Minimum Requirements. Chapter 18 List of products to which the code does not apply. On 17 June 1983, the MSC adopted by resolution International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk. Under the provision of Chapter 7 of SOLAS Chemical Tanker Construction. Chemical tankers constructed on or after 1 July 1986 must comply with provision of the code. On 5 December 1985 by the MEPC, the IBC code was extended to cover marine pollution with respect to the implementation of Annex 2 of MARPOL. Under the Regulation 11 Annex to MARPOL, chemical tankers constructed before 1 July 1986 must comply with the provision of the Code for the Construction of Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk, that is BCH code. On 17 June 1983, the MSC adopted by resolution International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk. Under the provision of Chapter 7 of SOLAS Chemical Tanker Construction. Chemical tankers constructed on or after 1 July 1986 must comply with provision of the code. On 5 December 1985 by the MEPC, the IBC code was extended to cover marine pollution with respect to the implementation of Annex 2 of MARPOL. Under the Regulation 11 Annex to MARPOL, chemical tankers constructed before 1 July 1986 must comply with the provision of the Code for the Construction of Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk, that is BCH code. Purpose of the code is to provide international standards for the safe carriage in bulk by sea of dangerous chemical and noxious liquid substances listed in Chapter 17 of the Code. Code prescribed the design and construction standard of ships regardless of the tonnage involved in such carriage and the equipment they shall carry to minimize the risk of the ships, its crew and the environment, having regard to nature. The basic philosophy of this code is to assign to each chemical tanker one of the ship type according to the degree of the hazards of the product carried by such ships. Chemical tanker design technology is not only a complex technology but is rapidly evolving, and therefore the code should not remain static. Thus, the organization will periodically review the code, taking into account both experience and technical development. The code deals with the ship design and equipment. The development of the code has been greatly assisted by a number of organizations in consultative status as the International Association of Classification Society. MMD surveyor may ask, what is a chemical tanker? Answer for this: chemical tanker means a ship constructed or adopted for the carriage in bulk of any liquid product listed in Chapter 17 of IBC Code. MMD surveyor may ask, what are NLS tankers? Answer for this: NLS tankers means a ship constructed or adapted to carry a cargo of noxious liquid substance in bulk and including an oil tanker, as defined in Annex 1 of the present convention, when certified to carry a cargo or a part cargo of noxious liquid substance in bulk. Hazards are as follows: fire hazard, health hazard, reactivity hazard, marine pollution. Cross question: what is the cargo area? Cargo areas are that part of the ship that contains cargo tank, slop tank, cargo pump room including pump room, cofferdam, blast or white spaces, adjacent to cargo tanks or slop tanks, and also deck area throughout the entire length into the breadth of the part of the ship over the above mentioned space. MMD surveyor may ask, What do you understand about noxious liquid substances? You should say, noxious liquid substance means any substance indicated in the pollution category column of Chapter 17 and 18 of the IBC Code provisionally assessed under the provision of the Regulation 6.3 of MARPOL Annex 2 as falling into categories of X, Y and Z. MARPOL Annex 2. Regulation 6 Categorization and List of Noxious Liquid Substances. 1.0 For the purpose of the regulation of the Annex, noxious liquid substance shall be divided into 4 categories as follows. Category X, noxious liquid substance, which if discharged into the sea from the tank cleaning and deballasting operation, are deemed to present the major hazard to either marine resource or human hazard and therefore justify the prohibition of the discharge into the marine environment. Category Y, noxious liquid substance, which gift discharge at sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operation, are deemed to present a hazard other marine resource or human health or cause harm to amenities for other legitimate uses of the sea and therefore justify a limitation on the quality and quantity of the discharge into the marine environment. Category Z, noxious liquid substance, which if discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operation are deemed to present a minor hazard to either marine resource or human health and therefore justify less stringent restrictions on the quality and quantity of the discharge into the marine environment. Other substances, substance indicated as other substance in the pollution category column of Chapter 18 of the IBC Code which have been evaluated and found to fall outside category X, Y or Z. As defined in Regulation 6.1 of the Annex because they are, at present, considered to present no harm to marine resource, human health, amenities, for other legitimate uses of the sea when discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or blasting operation. The discharge of bilge or ballast water or other residue or mixture containing only substance referred to as OS shall not be subject to any requirement of this annex. Chapter 18 of IBC Code, List of products to which the code does not apply. 18.2 All the products listed in this chapter falls outside the scope of the code and the attention of the administration is drawn to the fact that some safety precautions may be needed for their safety transportation. Accordingly, administration shall prescribe the appropriate safety requirements. 18.3 Some liquid substances are identified as falling into pollution category Z and therefore subject to certain requirements of MARPOL Annex 2. 18.4 Liquid mixtures which are assessed or provisionally assessed Annex 2 as falling into pollution category Z or OS and which do not present safety hazard may be carried under the appropriate entry in this chapter for noxious or non-noxious liquid substance, not otherwise specified, numbers. Other substance example, apple juice, OS, acetone, Z, clay slurry, OS, sorbitol solution, OS, ethyl alcohol, Z. That all maximum I can provide you the knowledge for IBC. Please subscribe and like.